Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video of using one of these El Cheapo vacuum pumps for bleeding down your brakes. Just a couple things to remember and keep in mind as you're doing this. Obviously, bench bleed your master cylinder and always be checking the fluid. You don't want that reservoir to go empty, or else you're going to have to start from square one and pull your master and bench bleed it again, and we don't want to do that. Um, so back to the vacuum pump. A couple things I've noticed over using it for years and on a few different vehicles. You will never achieve or maintain a, even reasonable vacuum with this thing, but that's just the nature of what you're doing with it and the project itself. You're always going to get some leakage through the bleeder screws, threads, even where your hose connects. But we can test that, and I can show you how to at least diagnose if your pump has any issues, or if you're just pulling in at the bleeder screw, or even around your hose around the bleeder fitting. So if you see here, I've got us connected at the back, wrench is on, hose is on top over that. I've used a smaller diameter hose to go from the collector to the bleeder. I've just found that it's a better seal, and most vehicles have different size bleeder screws on them. Heck, I've even worked on vehicles that every single wheel has a different size bleeder screw. So it's easier to just stretch over a smaller hose and you know you're going to get a good seal, rather than using the ones that came with it. I found they were too big for a lot of the stuff I worked on. So collector here, I like to keep it in a cup with something to weigh it down at the bottom, because you don't want this flopping all over the place. If you start to get fluid into this line and into the pump, you're going to ruin it. It happens pretty quick. So always keep an eye on that collector level as well as your master cylinder, so you don't lose fluid up front and have to start again. So let's get pumping here. We've got the bleeder screw closed. And take the pump, and you can see as we start to pump up, we lose that vacuum pretty quick. So the way we can test that is pop our line off the back of the bleeder fitting, put your thumb over top of it, pump your vacuum pump back up. As you can see, we are now maintaining that vacuum, so that tells me that we have no issues in the collector, the line, or any of our hoses to and from the pump. So let's get that back on there. And we'll start pumping up, so start to get a vacuum going on that. And then open up your bleeder screw as you're pumping, and just keep pumping. You'll notice your vacuum drops. Try to maintain something less than, keep it around -10. And you will start to see fluid come through your lines. Some vehicles you'll actually get an audible sucking sound through the brake line too. So keep pumping, keep an eye on your fluid level, and basically just like any other bleeding procedure, keep going until you see minimal to no bubbles. I find it's easier to get a visual representation of that using this pump. Don't look down here. Rather, take your hand or prop it up with something and actually hold the hose a little bit higher than the wheel cylinder itself, and then you'll really get a better visual of what's coming out of the cylinder. It will be a little aerated because, like I said, you're probably going to be pulling some through the bleeder screw threads, but as long as you're getting mostly fluid and it's consistent, I'd say you're in the right direction. So you can actually hear it there. I'm not sure if you can, but you can hear it actually pulling air in through the bleeder screw threads. But just keep pumping, keep an eye on your fluids, and then when you're done or your hand gets tired or whatever happens to be the case, you just close off your bleeder screw again. And then I like to keep pumping as I close it, just to keep that vacuum up. And then when you're ready to pull your hose off, keep pumping too, and pull the hose off nice and slow. And I find that just helps suck any fluid that's still in the hose or around the fitting right back into that collector, so you're not making a big mess. That's pretty much it, guys. It's a straightforward device. Don't be too afraid if it's not building vacuum. Its job is to essentially just pull fluid through those lines, and air will come first rather than a fluid. You can compress air, you can't compress a fluid. So that's pretty much the basics of it. hope this helps anybody that's been having questions or wondering about buying one of these. Yeah, take care. Be safe. Thanks for watching.